From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxton Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Good morning. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors. Today is Tuesday, November 19th. Board to reconvene. First item is roll call.
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard. Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez. Here.
I want to make a short statement or announcement before we go to the flag salute. We had a very sudden and unexpected tragic loss of one of our county family over the weekend. Commander Ian Chandler passed away, again, very unexpectedly. We would like to express our sorrow and our condolences to the family and the friends of Commander Chandler, and to the sheriff and to the Kern County Sheriff's Department. He was well liked, loved, and respected by all accounts. He started with the department back in 1997, I believe, and he was just recently promoted to commander back in June of this year. I believe there is a candlelight vigil tonight as well, starting at 7 o'clock at the fairgrounds. That's about all the information I have on that. I saw that on Facebook, so if you would be interested in attending that or like more information, I would just refer you to that Facebook page. So we would like to just pass along our condolences and our sorrow to all of his family and friends, the department, and Sheriff Youngblood. Thank you. The next item is the salute to the flag. It'll be led today by Jose Gonzalez. And please remain standing at the conclusion of that for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whichever you prefer. Thank you. The next item is our pet of the week. So I'll invite Nick Cullen, our Director of Animal Services, to come out and let us know what he's got.
Good morning. This spark plug I have with me this morning is Tater. Tater is about a 2-year-old wire hair terrier mix. He's about 13 pounds. He's a full-grown dog, so he's not going to get much bigger than that. But super sweet dog, high energy, as some of the staff has noticed already. But he's going to make somebody a really good family pet. He's available currently for adoption. His adoption fee is just $75, and he's good with other dogs too.
So I have a friend that calls me Tater. Couch potato, Tater. You see how he got there. So I assume this is the 4th District dog?
That is correct.
Okay. I would like to sponsor the, what does it cost, by the way, $85?
It's an $85 adoption.
Okay, I would like to sponsor that. I was going to say just for someone who's a 4th District resident, but anybody who wants to adopt Tater, I would like to sponsor the $85 fee. Okay. He is a good dog.
Yeah, he's a very good dog. Very alert, very smart.
How old is he?
He's about 2 years old.
Okay.
Still a pup.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Thank you. Come here, pal. Thank you.
Okay, the next item is a report on actions taken in closed session at the Tuesday, November 5th, 2 p.m. meeting. County Council.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. After the afternoon session of your last board meeting on November 5th, you reconvened in closed session to consider the second part of item 50. Item 50 on the last agenda had 2 parts, A and B, so to speak. After the afternoon session, you met on item 50B. However, there's no reportable action from that meeting.
Thank you. The next item is the consent agenda. All items listed with a CA or a C above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. We can act on those, excuse me, all with one motion. If there are any of you that would like to make a comment about any of the items on the consent agenda or ask for separate consideration, now would be the time to do that. Consent agenda consists of, starts on page 2, consists of items 1 and 2, and then 5 through 8. On page 3, items 11 through 16. On page 4, all the items 17 through 25. On page 5, items 27 through 33. On page 6, all the items 34 through 42. On page 7, all the items 43 through 50. And on page 8, items 51 through 55. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment or ask for separate consideration on any of the items I just mentioned? Seeing none, I'll return to the board for a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion on consent.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
Chairman, can I make a statement, please?
I'm sorry, yes.
I will be voting yes on the consent agenda, but abstaining from items 35 and 36.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please cast your votes. I apologize for not seeing your light on there.
Thank you. The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Maggard.
Thank you. That takes us back to item 3, which is a proclamation that proclaims November 2019 as International, and I'm going to do my best to pronounce this, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. I could be corrected on that if I'm not doing that correctly, saying that correctly. Otherwise known as CJD Awareness Month in Kern County, and I'm going to come down and present this one. So I'll make a motion on the proclamation.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Maggard.
Okay, how do I say it? Creutzfeldt-Jakob. I stand corrected. Members of the board, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease is a rare and fatal brain disorder within a group of illnesses called prion diseases. The incidence of CJD cases worldwide is 1, maybe 2 cases per million individuals per year. Harvey L. Hall was 1 in a million. Unfortunately, he was 1 of these million. In the United States, this statistic excuse me, translates to nearly 500 new cases per year. There's about 1 CJD death per every 6,000 to 10,000 deaths in the United States each year. In Kern County, we became more aware of the disease last year after Bakersfield's 25th mayor, Harvey L. Hall, was diagnosed with the sporadic form of CJD. Just 2 weeks and 7 hours following his diagnosis, he lost his battle to CJD. In an effort to create awareness and education while remembering and honoring those impacted, Hall Ambulance Service Incorporated joined with the CJD Foundation and established Strides for CJD Bakersfield, one of the 17 events across the United States. On October 13, 2019, the 2nd annual Strides for CJD Bakersfield took place at Lake Ming. Approximately 300 individuals walked or ran in honor and memory of 6 California families directly impacted by CJD. The families of Nikki Buto, Arturo de la Cerda, Sr., Neil W. Foster, Debbie Hill, Elizabeth Rivera, and Harvey L. Hall. This is the amazing, there's a lot of amazing stuff here, but think about this. For the 2nd year in a row, after just getting started, Team Big H, in memory of Harvey L. Hall, was recognized as the top fundraising team nationwide winner, and Strides for CJD Bakersfield was the top fundraising site in the country. Because this disease is so rare and those affected by it deteriorate so quickly, there is often a feeling of isolation for family members. Events such as Strides for CJD, family support programs, and workshops provided by the CJD Foundation bring comfort to these families after learning they are not alone. So I'd like to read this proclamation and present it to LaVon Hall and offer her a chance to say a couple of words. Proclamation reads, the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, has officially proclaimed November 2019 as International CJD Awareness Month in Kern County, and this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes, evidenced by my signature dated today, November 19th, 2019. LaVon, I'm sorry we have to give you this, but I'm honored to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Couch, members of the board. 18 months ago today, we lost a good man. And I say we because it's obvious the impact on my family, my Hall Ambulance family, but I know all of you thought of him as a colleague and a friend. And so it was a loss to all of us, all of Kern County. I became involved with the CJD Foundation, and we started Strides for CJD. Could not have happened without my Hall Ambulance family, Mark Quorum, my co-chair, and the community who we all know what a caring community we have, we live in, and they didn't let me down. This year we raised over $78,000. Every penny of that will go to education, research, and family support, which I have found has become so important because this is such an isolating disease. And families constantly hear, I don't know, the doctors don't know, the medical community doesn't know, no one really knows. And so the family support becomes very important. Our next goal is to raise money to fund a research grant in Harvey's name. We're hoping to do that within the next 6 to 8 months. I'm very committed to this, and I appreciate your help in this proclamation, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Item 4 proclaims November 2019, January through January 2020 as Kern County's Library Winter Reading Challenge themed Exercise Your Mind, Read. And this proclamation will be presented by Supervisor Perez.
Thank you, Chairman. Motion on proclamation.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Maggard.
Very good, very good. I want to get it right. Good morning, Chairman Couch and members of the board. I am excited and grateful to make this presentation, proclaiming November 2019 through January 2020 as the Kern County Library's Winter Reading Challenge. Exercise your mind, read. This countywide program celebrates our libraries and the role they play in providing children of all ages with the resources they need to learn and achieve as they grow into working and thriving adults. This new Winter Reading Challenge is a program made possible through a partnership with our Kern County Public Health Services, thank you, Matt, and it emphasizes the importance of physical activity and reading. We invite early learners, kids, tweens, teens and adults to all exercise their mind by reading this winter. These programs really do make a difference in the lives of our communities, children and adults alike. Today I join my colleagues as we proclaim proudly the Winter Reading Challenge from November 2019 through January 2020 and commend Andy, Jasmine, Matt, and all of our library and county family for providing these vital opportunities to the children and families of Kern County. Matt and Jasmine, it's Jasmine Labasso, right? Okay, we're going to hear from you in a moment, which is nice. But today, the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, officially proclaims November 2019 through January 2020 as Kern County Library's Winter Reading Challenge theme, Exercise your mind, read. And this recognition has been entered into the official board minutes and signed by our chairman, David Couch. And now, Jasmine, finally, the floor is yours.
So I think there is a certain amount of poetry in the fact that I walked over here today from the Beale Memorial Library. Whenever I get the opportunity to walk here, I do, rather than drive. So a few months ago, the Kern County Library and the Public Health Services Department partnered up to emphasize that literacy is vital to public health. That was the beginning of a partnership that I'm very proud of. I see the Winter Reading Challenge as an extension of that original partnership. We know the importance of regular physical activity and how it affects our lifelong physical health. I feel that we talk about it a lot. We know it's important to be active. And we also separately know that success is highly dependent on early learning and lifelong reading. We often speak about these two important topics separately, and I believe that this partnership recognizes that the picture of good health is made up of many parts to create one whole. It means exercising our body and our mind. That's why, for this Winter Reading Challenge, which is the first countywide challenge to parallel summer reading during winter months that the Kern County Library has ever hosted, we are emphasizing both physical activity and reading. Kern County residents are encouraged to sign up in person at a Kern County Library branch or online on our Beanstack platform. And since the beginning of this month in November, all the way through January of next year, readers can take the challenge and become a reading athlete by reading 10 books or 10 hours. And while supplies last, they can receive discounts to the I-9 Sports Intramural Leagues, free fencing courses from the Kern County Fencing Association, and discount coupons to the Valley Children's Ice Skating Rink, as well as a bookmark from the Kern County Library. Readers also have the chance to win a month-long membership to Sculpt 365 Fitness and passes to the Rock Wall at Action Sports in Bakersfield. I'd like to thank the Public Health Services Department for their partnership. Without them, it really wouldn't be possible to offer this program. And I'd also like to thank the Foundation for the Kern County Library. They have made it possible by investing in our Beanstack reading platform since last summer. And it has made it easier for us as a library to create a culture of reading in our community by making reading challenges available easily on the Beanstack app. So that's available on people's mobile devices for free. And I highly encourage anybody to go to our website to participate in the challenge, join in the different activities that we are offering, and encouraging people to be active in their bodies and their minds. This is for all ages. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, very much. Jasmine, you're a star. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I believe that takes us to item 9, which is public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter that is not on the agenda but is under the jurisdiction of the board. Is there anyone here that would like to make a public presentation? Please, we just ask that you state your name, proceed, and we try to stick to about a 2-minute time limit.
Good morning,
Morning.
Board. My name is Laura Reyes. I represent United Domestic Workers. I stand before you as a home care provider myself, and I ask that you give us a fair and livable contract. What we do is important, not only to our clients, but to the community. We provide a vital service, and I hope that the county takes this to heart and gives us a fair and livable contract. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Reina Jacobo. I'm a UDW member. As a home care provider, it's hard to make ends meet on a $12, and I take care of my son's health needs while having no medical insurance myself. All I'm asking, please, give us a livable contract. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Christine Moore. I'm here as the same. I'm a provider. I'm asking for a livable contract too, to support us. You know, minimum wages is going up in some places, but we hasn't had a raise in a while, so we could use a raise and some health insurance. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Chairman Couch, member of the board. My name is Jairo Hernandez. I am a new resident in Bakersfield and a new IHSS care provider. I work part-time. My wife and I came 2 years ago from the LA area where we have lived most of our lives. We are both 72 years old, have been married for 48 years, and we are retired and living on Social Security retirement income. When we were living in Los Angeles, there was a point when we needed to find a city with a lower cost of living. We didn't want to live away from our families and our grandchildren, but we had no choice. We now live 13 gallons of gasoline away from our grandchildren, approximately $50. We like the city of Bakersfield. As soon as we got here, I started looking for work because I needed extra income. Thanks to God, I am in good health, but I was at the time 70 years old. It's not easy to find work at this age. It was another blessing from God when I was told that in spite of my age, I could become an IHSS care provider. The requirements were to be in good health, have good character, and pass a background and fingerprint test. I visited recently each one of your websites and read the statements you had made. I know all of you are proud to be our county supervisors, are working hard to serve and improve our communities. You want to improve our general welfare, improve our quality of life. Please take another look at those green shirts behind me. We are all working families. Many of us are low income. And we are today asking for your help. You now have the opportunity to help us by giving us a fair contract that will make our jobs better jobs in the county of Kern. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, board members. My name is Rudy M. Cominero. I'm an IHSS home care provider. I have recently, 5 years ago, got struck down with diabetes too, so I feel that our health and welfare is being neglected. We need better wages to do our jobs better, and pay's just not what it is. I believe that all IHSS providers should be entitled to the competitive wage fields that every other field has. Thank you for my time.
Sir, could you give us your last name again?
Cominero.
Thank you.
My name is Jacqueline Ortega, and I am an IHSS provider worker. And we do deserve a higher pay because I love my job. I like taking care of, the one that needs. And they need somebody that you can trust to go out there and help them. And to be dependable also. I mean, we work as hard as anybody else, I think. I think we deserve a higher pay. Thank you. Because you got to get old someday, too.
Good morning. My name is David Abbasi with Central Valley Citizens for Responsible Government. Please forgive me for not appearing before you in one of my suits, as I normally do, in a casual wear today. I wanted to talk to you guys about the hemp fields and the raids that occurred recently. The sheriff's office had posted something on Facebook saying that they were aware of the actual law that allowed for farmers to possess hemp that was testing hot or higher than the 0.3% THC threshold. It says here, the research exemption allows for cultivators to grow and possess hemp cannabis that is over 3% THC content if that cultivation or possession contributes to the development of types of industrial hemp that will comply with the 0.3% THC limit established in this division. What that means is they can grow a bunch of hemp, right? Some of it can test higher than the 0.3% THC threshold. what they do is they select the most vigorous and healthiest strains, the ones that grow the fastest. Then they pick and choose and crossbreed them until the THC level becomes low, but they still have the desirable qualities. So now it seems like the sheriff's office knew what they were doing, and they knew that this was legal, but they violated the law regardless and destroyed nearly 500 acres of hemp. And now you guys are being sued for $1 billion, according to the news broadcast. We recently did a poll online. Out of 127 people polled, 78%, almost 80% of the people polled said that Sheriff Donnie Youngblood should resign. This was 54% Republican, 42% Democrat, and 2% other. So people want Donnie to resign. He's creating a lot of reliability. And my time's up. I guess I only got 2 minutes, right? I'd like to give you guys copies of this information that I just mentioned regarding the raids. And if I could put this on the record, please. There's also a copy of a proof of service that shows Leticia Perez's husband as one of the recipients of the judge's answer in a gun violence restraining order case. So it does show that the supervisor also, Perez, has something to do with it. Otherwise, why else would they be? It's very unusual. Thank you.
Any other speakers today?
Good morning. My name's Dennis Farmer. I'm the CEO of Legacy Village here in Bakersfield. I don't have a complaint this morning. I just wanted to thank the board for your consideration. We had an item on the consent agenda allowing us to begin to treat individuals with Medi-Cal insurance at our residential treatment facility. It's an interim deal to get us through until the RFP is released. And so I just wanted to say thank you, especially Supervisor Perez. Thank you very much for your efforts. As you guys know, substance abuse is a tremendously difficult issue here in our local community. Our organization is committed to treating individuals and seeing them through this entire process, not just the individual, but their families. We're committed to family reunification. We're committed to improving our community through those efforts. So again, I just wanted to say thank you for that. Thank you for the opportunity to begin to serve a broader scope of our community.
Thank you. Come back anytime. Any other public presentations? Seeing none. Next item is item 10, board member announcements and reports. I don't see any lights on. I have one very brief one. I just want to bring attention to this young lady. The manager of the McDonald's in Lamont, Myra Villalpando, I think I'm saying that right, was recently awarded the Ray Kroc Award, and that award recognizes the top performing McDonald's restaurant managers globally. She was one of 365 managers around the world to receive that award. That might sound like a lot, but that's the top 1%. She's been working at McDonald's for 17 years. She was awarded this prize back in April. I think there was a cash prize and a trophy, although it doesn't say how much cash she got. We won't divulge that. I wouldn't divulge it even if I knew. But I just wanted to congratulate her on that accomplishment. And that's just one person here in Kern County that is doing great work. Seeing no other requests, I think that takes us over to item 26, which is a presentation on our 2020 point-in-time homeless count in Kern County. Mr. Alsop.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, members of the board. Mr. Gonzalez from the CAO's office will start this item.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Chair and members of the board, the item before you is a brief presentation on the 2020 point-in-time homeless count and to provide a brief overview of the county's effort. I would like to introduce Heather Kimmel. She's the Assistant Executive Director of the Housing Authority of Kern. We will both be presenting this morning and providing you with an update. Heather.
Great. Thank you, Jose. Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. The homeless point-in-time count is a process in which Perfect, sorry. The homeless point in time count is a process that is mandated by HUD. It's required for all continuums of care throughout the entire nation to do this process sometime within the last 10 days of January. We have to go out and count those who are in our emergency shelters, transitional housing programs, and also those who are living in places not meant for human habitation. HUD prescribes the way in which the count must be done, it prescribes the restrictions and how we have to do it, and it also outlines specific questions and data points that we must collect during this process. We are so happy that the County Administrative Office is partnering with the Bakersfield Kern Regional Homeless Collaborative. It's the first time I've said the new name publicly. It rolls off the tongue very nicely, I think. So we're very happy that the Kern County Administrative Office is a partner and is calling on the entire county family to participate in the 2020 point in time count. Our count this year is going to take place on Friday, January 24th, from 3:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. That is the unsheltered portion of the count. Our sheltered portion will actually begin at 8 p.m. and we're looking for volunteers there as well. So why does a homeless count matter? Yes, it's required by HUD. It's something that we have to do to stay compliant with our HUD funding, but why does it matter? It allows us to apply for renewal funding. We get approximately $5.6 million from HUD every year in renewal funding to keep existing programs going for homeless persons. That's programs that fund permanent supportive housing, street outreach, case management, and rapid rehousing. It also makes us eligible to apply for new funding from HUD each year. It's required by the state of California to receive the one-time state money that has been issued through the HEAP program, the CASH program, and now the newly released HHAP program. And it is our best way to establish trends in the homeless population. We know that the homeless count is not the entire count of homeless persons in our community. It is a snapshot. It's a point in time. We have 4 consecutive hours, to send volunteers out into the community to survey as many homeless persons as they can come in contact with. When we do this the same way year after year, we can start to establish trends within our homeless population. We can see if the number of those we engage with that have substance abuse disorders is increasing or decreasing. We can see if there's an increase in unsheltered homeless women. We can determine the number of homeless veterans statistically in our community. So by doing this process each year in the same method, we're able to pull some really value statistical data for our community that helps us with gaps analysis, program development, and grant writing. So the Kern County Point in Time Committee is actually chaired by Jan Lamucci. She's with us in the audience today. We'd like to acknowledge and recognize Jan for chairing this year. It is no small feat. Yes, thank you, Jan. She didn't know we were going to do that. She deserves it. She does, absolutely. So the Point in Time Count Committee is responsible for planning, designing, and conducting the annual point in time count, making sure it's compliant with the HUD restrictions and guidelines, recruiting service providers and volunteers, developing and providing training to those volunteers, completing the reports to HUD and to the state, and then also conveying the findings to the community, making sure that that valuable data gets out into the community and everybody's aware of where we stand in regards to homelessness. Volunteers needed. So as I mentioned, we send volunteers throughout the entire county during this process. Our county is very large. We've got a lot of area to cover. We only have 4 hours to conduct this process, so we are seeking 500 volunteers this year. Volunteers go out in teams of 3 to complete the survey. They attend a 2-hour training. The training is going to be offered throughout the county. We're going to have multiple dates and locations to select from to try and accommodate everybody's schedules so that that's not a barrier to somebody volunteering. Once a volunteer registers for the count, they'll be sent out an email detailing those volunteer dates and times. We want to make sure that all volunteers register before they receive training. The unsheltered portion of the count begins at 3:30 a.m. And you'll receive instructions, meet your team, pick up your materials and your goodie bags that morning. When we say goodie bags, that's incentive items that we pass out to our homeless neighbors when we are conducting the count. It helps break the ice a little bit when you're a strange person approaching somebody in the middle of the night, it can be kind of awkward to then go through a survey. So the incentive bags help break that ice and offer something to them for their time to collect the data that we need. Okay.
The following, I need to turn on my mic, sorry. The following 11 cities, unincorporated communities have been identified with the greatest need for volunteers. That would be Arvin, Lamont, California City, Delano, Frazier Park, Lost Hills, McFarland, Mojave, Rosamond, Taft, and Tehachapi. County employees who are residents or employed in these areas are urged to seize this opportunity to provide an invaluable service to the community and to offer knowledge of the specific region to reach as many homeless individuals as possible during the count. A total of 9 home bases in rural communities will be available throughout the county. For example, Lake Isabella, Lamont, Mojave, Taft, Delano, Frazier Park, Ridgecrest, Tehachapi, and Wasco. All volunteers must check in at the home base at 3:30 in the morning, where they will be given a team assignment and to pick up supplies. Volunteers must also check out after the count. Again, this year, your Department of Human Services will be opening Lake Isabella, Lamont, Mojave, Taft district offices to serve as a home base. In the 2019 count, 3 of your county departments, Human Services, Kern Behavioral Health and Recovery Services, and Public Works, had the highest number of volunteers. A total of 18 departments participated in the last count, including Public Health Services, General Services, Aging and Adult Services, Planning and Natural Resources, and the County Administrative Office. On December 18, 2019, your board approved Administrative Bulletin Number 5, the Homeless Point in Time Count Volunteer Program for all county employees. This is for full-time, part-time, temporary, and extra help employees. We're encouraging all county employees to sign up. We're also encouraging managers to employ volunteers to encourage them to sign up. The county employees will receive regular pay for the regular schedule hours for work up to 8 hours when working as a volunteer. Not requiring county employees to take paid or unpaid time off to attend mandated volunteer training, which is 2 hours. Okay, I need to put my glasses back on. Sorry about that.
We get it.
Where am I at? Where did Sorry about that, guys. I cannot believe I'm doing this. Maybe my slide is missing. Ah. I think I have to go one more. I think I'm missing a slide. I can't see it. I'll continue. On June, in the 2019 count, 130 county employees volunteered. The goal for 2020 is 200 county employees. All county employees will receive an email this morning with all necessary information to register as a volunteer. Please sign up as soon as possible. We're encouraging our employees to volunteer. Please visit the website link before you to complete a short volunteer profile. You need to select volunteer, go under volunteer, and give and participate. It is extremely important that you select the city location where you wish to volunteer. We encourage bilingual employees to register. The volunteer flyers are located on both tables as you entered the board room this morning. You're encouraged to share this information with your friends, families, social media, church, and to encourage everyone to sign up for the 2020 point in time count. This concludes prepared comments. Heather and I are available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Perez has a question before we open it up.
Thank you very much, Chairman. What is the likelihood we're going to have 500 volunteers? How will we know where we are, and how can we help? Because I think I can help, bring volunteers to be part of the process, but how realistic is the 500 mark? This is, in my opinion, the most critical thing we will do in 2020 is get the accuracy of this count and locations and start to develop our teams, right, who understand, like precincts, what's going on in their block. And so this, to me, is the most critical piece, how we develop the foundation of this body that is going to understand our homeless population in its multiplicity of complexity. So I am really want to help, and I want to be a part of what you're doing, but I just think we have to track and manage this thing obsessively, and I would like to understand that piece better. We can talk about that now or later, but this is really, really critical.
Sure, Supervisor Perez, I have just a short answer, which is a much longer conversation, but just really quickly to address your question. Last year, we doubled the number of volunteers. Historically, we had approximately 150 volunteers. Last year, we doubled that. So I think it's very realistic that we can get to the 500 number that we're seeking. And we already are tracking through Eventbrite the number of volunteers registering, and we have double the amount right now registered than we historically do at this time in the year. So I think we're making good strides to continue to increase that volunteer base, but if we don't continue to work towards it, then it'll start to fall off again, so we need to aggressively address and recruit volunteers.
Can I please see you guys in my office ASAP? I'd like to be part of it and help in any way. I mean, I could certainly get a lot of volunteers to be active in it, but I want to see the plan and understand it. So we've got to be all hands on deck, and we have to do things we've never done before, which is exciting, but it means we've got to be all in and be sophisticated about it. So please, please incorporate my team into this process, because we're all in, and I am chair of this board next year. So this is top priority.
I'm not relinquishing.
Uh-oh. That's another subject, Chairman. We'll deal with that later. Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Yep. Supervisor Perez asked the question, what can we do to help you, that I wanted to ask. So I'd like to sit down with you as well. Have we, or are you, I know you've sent this out today, this morning, to all the county employees. Who else are we sending it to? For example, are we sending it to all the city managers, all the managers of the community facilities districts all over the county?
Yes, last year we sent out letters to other city managers and also city council members, the mayors.
Okay.
So we'll do that again. We also attend on a regular basis the collaboratives throughout the county, where we also promote and try to recruit volunteers. We also work a lot with faith-based organizations, and they've been instrumental in helping us get volunteers, and we'll continuing to do that again this year.
I think that's probably critical, because they're obviously engaged in that and interested in this subject. So thank you. I don't see any other lights on, so we'll open it up. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll return to the board. By the way, I need to talk to you after this. Unrelated subject.
Chairman Couch, members of the board, Michael Turnipseed representing Kern Tax. I guess the simple question is 500 the right number? Realistically, we get for everybody we count. And I mean, we had 300 last year, and you have so many bodies per counter. So the more counters you have, the more bodies you're going to get. Are we artificially controlling our count by reducing the number of people on the street that day? And the second question would be then, is there anything that prohibits the county, the collaborative, or anyone from contracting with temporary services and training employees to work that day to get the count up? Because the return on investment, I think, is pretty high for the number of bodies. We all realize that it's not 1,300 people that are homeless in Kern County. So what is the real number? And the only way you ever know that is when people come home and said, there's no more people to count. We got them all. And I didn't hear that from anybody in the last few years we've been doing this. So that's my question.
My
Are there
sense
any
is-
restrictions from contracting and getting an army of people out there that day who aren't volunteers to be counted?
Let me turn to Mr. Alsop for a comment on that.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know if we're putting any, I may be speaking out of turn, but I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to ask the other side to comment if I get anything wrong. But the bottom line is that we need to maximize the number of volunteers and just people counting in this 4-hour period on this particular day, countywide. I don't think that we've done a very good job in years past ensuring that we had the efficacy of a count in the outside of Metro Bakersfield. I think that that's being addressed. It was addressed last year. We doubled the number of people that we had on the street during this time. By all accounts and reports, it seems like we will have even more folks on the street during this time this year. As far as contracting out, the County of Kern employs about 8,000 people. The Board of Supervisors last year incentivized the participation of all of our employees with obviously the coordination and approval of their supervisors and ultimately department heads across the county to work this 4-hour period for the point in time count. The incentive was that they would be paid to do that. And again, it's a coordination with their supervisors. I think that incentive program sparked the jump in numbers that we had counting. So I think that we're going to continue with that incentive program with our employees. And I believe that in itself, with the sheer number of our employees and where they are, the scope and size of the county organization and the various county buildings, properties we have throughout our 8,000 square miles, I think is a pretty good program and should produce some additional bodies on the street this year above last year. So the answer to your question is contracting out a professional group of people to go out that might not be county employees. I don't believe we need that at this point.
Supervisor Perez.
I am so grateful, Ryan, for how you guys have stepped up this process. I mean, this is exciting. We are absolutely in the right vein, and I'm really grateful. Thank you. Mike, I would be willing to use my discretionary money to pay bodies, if we can make it work and it's legal, to make this count the most accurate and the most precise that we have ever had, because of course it will equal the money that we bring back. And it will demonstrate a level of sophistication for Kern County that shows we can lead on this issue, and we will. So if you can, Mike, if you don't mind, participate with this meeting and sit down I have with the homeless folks, so we really are zeroed in on the dollars and cents portion of what it takes to bring in the maximum money to make this work.
Well, if we're getting our millions of dollars from these new revenue sources now for 1,300, and if we double our efforts and double our count, triple our efforts, triple our count, will we triple our revenue? Which is the question.
We will, and we'll know our homeless population better. We need to understand them.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike.
Can I please just add one quick comment to that?
Don't run away yet.
Thank you. We have to just be mindful that the state allocates money based on the number. So yes, if the number goes up, the state allocation could go up. But HUD actually, if our number goes up, we have to be very clear and careful about how we explain that in our application, because it could be viewed as a penalty and lose points in our grant. So there's some conflicting regulations which we'll dig into. It's super in the weeds, but I just wanted to put that out for everybody because that's a very in the weeds discussion, but it's an important one. And I also wanted to point out that Jim Wheeler on the committee is working with the county to develop the mobile app. We are very hopeful will be launched this year, which will expedite the amount of time it takes to complete a survey. So we are hopeful that with that mobile app launched, we'll be able to survey more individuals, and the amount of time we have will be more effective.
Well, I appreciate that nuance. It is important, and thank you for highlighting it. What we also have to be laser focused on is solving Kern County's homeless crisis. That is really, at the end, our problem, right? We're one of the 58 microcosms in California that are going to roll something out, that it's either going to work and be great or it's going to fail. And I think that we are past the point of even entertaining such a thing, obviously. So I want the best kind of count possible, even for our own intel, for our own measures, so that we understand them. And I do believe it will result in more money as well. We have to be mindful of what you said, and I really appreciate that. And Ryan, you've stepped up the game here dramatically, and I so appreciate it. But I think it's time to go into turbo mode as to comprehending the population, understanding how do we as a county grapple with this with the best minds and the best resources, because it's not as complicated as we think, is my sense. If we just have the political will and we have the resources to train people properly to understand the population, because it's all of our problem.
That's right. The
Thanks,
more
Mike.
people we have on the streets, the more bodies we're going to count, the more revenue we will have from outside sources to help us address our problem.
And the momentum, Mike, to take this issue on as a community, right? And understand we all have a role to play.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Mr. Walker, thank you.
Good morning, Bill Walker, your Director of Kern Behavioral Health and Recovery Services. I want to thank the presentation, thank the board, thank the CAO's office for the work in this area. And I also wanted to bring to your attention that in addition to the point-in-time count that we do to get that point-in-time count, you have an active data source, HIMS, with a coordinated entry system that keeps and regularly updates who is being outreached to in the street. And so there is an active database. I think we manage it through my department for the Housing Authority. And I just want you to be aware that in addition to that point in time, we realize that there is an active change in who's homeless and how they're homeless and vets that are homeless. And there's a lot of data that can be brought forward to you from that data set and from the Housing Authority. Thank you.
Mr. Walker, is that list of people a subset of the point-in-time count, or is it separate and distinct? How do we?
It is. I know
Does it
Heather
help
will
with?
want to.
Does it help with funding to have that data, or can it be? Does it have to be excluded and only the point-in-time count?
Now that I stuck my
counts?
neck out, I'm going to point over to Heather because I can see she's already ready to respond to that.
So the database is a tool we use during the point-in-time count. It mostly helps us with the sheltered portion of the count. But what it provides to us is an annual number. So we know over the course of a year how many people enter our homeless system of care, how many of those people had never experienced homelessness before. We can pull out zip codes of where they experienced homelessness, where they're receiving services. So it is a very robust data base that provides us a whole year's outlook on homelessness, aside from just this 4-hour count. The challenge is that we have to do that point-in-time count when we report to HUD and to the state for funding. They don't allow us to use those annualized numbers. And I think the reason being is HUD prescribes a way for the entire nation to do this process, where the database is only as robust as each community allows it to be, so it's not apples to apples in how communities collect data in HMIS. We do it very well here. But I can't say that that's the same across the country. So the point-in-time count is a way for HUD to compare across the nation comparatively.
So if I may add, Supervisor and Chairman, with the HIMS data, with the coordinated entry system, if you open up a low barrier shelter as you are looking and planning to do, you will know in fairly real time the impact that has, because it will show up in this data set. And so I just wanted to highlight for you that there is a lot going on with the Housing Collaborative and data, in addition to the importance of the point in time count. And that will be data we'll be looking at actively through the different committees and groups as steps are made. Many times as the elected officials, it is imperative that you're able to show to the public what changes are occurring because of the actions that are being taken, and this data set should allow that kind of reporting to you.
What about people who might be in custody in the jails? Are they, but we know they were homeless when they were brought into custody. Are they counted as homeless in the count, or are they excluded?
They're excluded.
But we do have prevention dollars in the jail to move people from the jail in AB 109 so that they don't go enter homelessness from the jail. There are efforts there as well that could be reported to you through other methods.
Understood. I'm just thinking about the count itself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Bill.
Jim Wheeler, Flood, Bakersfield. Just wanted to add, really don't have a lot to add. I think Heather answered the question very well. Remember that our point in time is a year-over-year count, so we're comparing year to year to measure our progress. And if you change the methodology in your count, then that changes what we can learn about our homeless population, whether it's growing or whether it's shrinking. There's also a conflict between what HUD wants. HUD wants that number to go down, but on the other hand, the state, is giving us our HAP funding and other forms of funding based on how many homeless individuals we actually count. So it's a little bit of a catch-22. Also, my experience in Orange County, we actually paid to do what Mr. Turnipseed is recommending, and it was very, very expensive. It was like $650,000 they spent. So just keep that in mind as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Jim?
Yep.
Jim? Quick question.
Okay.
So we had how many volunteers last year?
About 400.
About 400.
300, yeah. So, and I think the thing, Heather can add to this, but there's a correlation between how many volunteers we have and how many people we're able to count, right? So our count goes up our volunteers go up by 50% and our count goes up by 50%. So I think having more volunteers will help us to have a more comprehensive and accurate count.
Yes. But how do you get a trend out of a significant, if we move from 400 volunteers to 500 or 1,000, the numbers are going to spike. And how do you is there a trend that can be developed from that change in how we manage the count? Is it we're going to be able to look at it and say we have more homeless, our homeless people are going up?
Yeah,
Than last year, just because we counted more?
Last year, in preparation for the additional volunteers, we developed a way to say if we only had 150 volunteers, our survey area was going to be this big. We were able to split that survey area in half because we had double the volunteers. And so we backed the data out to say if we only had 150 volunteers and the survey area was still this big, what would the number of people statistically look like that we could have counted? When we backed the numbers out and ran some figures, it looked like we would have showed about a 12% increase instead of the 50% increase. So we still would have had an increase. We know that there's an increase, so you can see it. It's not, we're not trying to deny that. But the number of volunteers and how large those survey areas are directly impacts the number of people you can count. We were all saying that this morning. So yes, there is a way to look at it. This is what the increase would have looked like had we had the same number of volunteers. This is what it looks like now with the additional volunteers, and compare it that way.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and just to add to that, Heather mentioned our system, and Mr. Walker mentioned our system performance. 'Cause we do know how many people touch the system each year, and so I think it's around 3,000 or so. What was our system performance number? It was about 3,000. So we counted 1,330. But we know that during the year, through HMIS and CES, there's about 3,000 people, maybe a little less than that, that touch one of our system points in the homeless system. So, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Alsop, did you have a comment?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to reiterate a couple of things. The point in time count effort is strengthening with each year going forward. It's we're breathing new vigor into that effort. The folks that are involved are doing a very good job to ensure that we have an army of people out on the streets all across this county. And I just wanted to reiterate again, because I think we are the only organization in the county that's doing it. We do pay people to count. We pay our employees to go out and count through an incentive program that your board adopted and implemented. It's unique, it's valuable, and we're going to do a good job of encouraging all of our employees, all of their supervisors, and our department heads to get as many folks out for this point in time count as we possibly can. And again, they will be paid to do it. Thank you.
Can you describe the incentive? Supervisor Perez wants to jump in, but just for my education, they're being paid anyway to work, but they're being paid to be involved in the point in time count, but that's only about 4 hours. So what's their incentive to do this? Our employees.
Typically, you don't get paid when you volunteer. You're allowed to go take certain volunteer hours out. What we're doing here is we're allowing our employees to go volunteer and be paid for that volunteer, so they're going to continue to receive their regular pay. Correct, Mr. Brown? I'm getting a nod. So it's as simple as that.
It's just that's it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Supervisor Perez.
Chairman Couch, thank you so much. Ryan, again, thank you for elevating our game and leading the elevation of our game. That's critical. I want to be personally involved, please, with the planning and the understanding of the bodies and having a better comprehension. I should know more, and I'd like to know more, and I look forward to learning from you. And partnering, Mike, with folks that we know that have a strong interest in being absolutely accurate, absolutely sophisticated, and leading. I mean, the county of Kern is leading the state of California. I'm on a regular basis with the governor-appointed 2 leaders of the homeless issue, and we are leading, and I'm excited about that. And that's not what folks are used to out of Kern County on an issue like homelessness. It's the truth, and we are leading, and people are watching, and I want to have the best program in the state of California, and there isn't any reason why we can't do that. I believe in that. So I'm excited, again, grateful, thank you. But I'm ready to really dig in and dive into the details because they matter. I'm thinking of it kind of like a campaign, right? With precincts and precinct captains. I mean, we really got to dive in and understand the complexities so that we're effective as a community in addressing a very complex issue. Thank you.
Thank you. The recommended action, seeing no other comments, is to receive and file.
So moved.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Maggard.
Thank you. That takes us to the end of the morning agenda. I would just ask for a motion to adjourn to closed session in memory of Commander Ian Chandler.
So moved.
Second.
Without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you.